Let's perform a brutal, honest audit of your last 24 hours. You woke up, and within the first 90 seconds, you opened your phone, flooding your brain with cortisol and dopamine from messages you didn't need to read yet. You sat down at your desk to tackle your most important project: the code, the manuscript, the business model, the study plan. But within 10 minutes, a tiny red badge on a browser tab caught your eye. You clicked it, then you checked an email, then you checked a metrics dashboard, then you wrapped up a 2-hour status meeting where absolutely nothing was decided. But everyone felt validated because they were participating. At the end of that 10-hour day, you walked away physically exhausted, but mentally unfulfilled. You asked yourself, what did I actually build today? And the honest answer was, nothing. You are trapped in the illusion of busyness. In our modern culture, we have conflated raw activity with actual productivity. We run around like corporate hamsters, bleeding our focus across 100 different open tabs, wondering why our careers feel stagnant. Today, we are dismantling this trap. We are going beyond the surface level to explore a psychological superpower that will completely separate you from the masses. The mechanism of deep work. Welcome and the core hypothesis. Welcome to Volume and Vision. This channel is built for those who refuse to settle for average outcomes, who understand that true mastery requires a level of mental discipline that most people simply find too uncomfortable to sustain. If you are ready to stop scratching the surface and start building real, unreplicable depth in your life and career, hit that subscribe button right now. Turn on your notifications. Let's get to work. To understand why you feel so scattered, we have to look at the foundational thesis of modern performance physics. The deep work hypothesis. The ability to perform deep work, focusing without distraction on a cognitively demanding task, is becoming increasingly rare at the exact same moment that it is becoming uniquely valuable in our global economy. Consequently, the few who cultivate this skill and make it the core of their working life will completely dominate. Look around you. We are living through an absolute distraction epidemic. Entire multi-billion-dollar tech conglomerates have engineered their user interfaces to fragment your attention span for profit. Because of this, the average person's brain has been conditioned to crave a new hit of dopamine every 2 to 3 minutes. This means that focus is no longer just a productivity tip. Focus is a high-value currency. If you can develop the rare capacity to sit in a room, completely isolated, and push your cognitive faculties to their absolute limit for 3 continuous hours on a single problem, you are effectively operating with a cheat code. You aren't just outworking your peers, you are playing an entirely different game, the neuroscience of focus versus distraction. This isn't just self-help philosophy, it is hard organizational psychology and neuroscience. To understand why your work feels shallow, you have to understand a concept known as attention residue. When you switch your attention from task A, say writing a highly complex engineering document, to task B, like quickly checking a message that popped up on your screen, your brain does not make a clean, instantaneous break. Instead, a significant portion of your cognitive processing power remains firmly stuck to task A. Even if you only glance at that notification for 5 seconds and immediately look back at your primary work, your brain is now suffering from a massive performance deficit. Your prefrontal cortex is forced to burn extra energy trying to reorient itself. If you switch tasks 5, 10, or 15 times an hour, your mind is perpetually swimming in attention residue. You are operating at a fraction of your actual intellectual capacity, effectively lowering your functional IQ in real time. The 4 operational frameworks. So how do we systematically integrate true, deep focus into a chaotic life? You cannot just rely on vague willpower. Willpower is a finite resource that depletes rapidly throughout the day. Instead, you must choose a deliberate operational framework that matches your specific lifestyle and career structure. There are 4 distinct philosophies. 1. The monastic philosophy. This is the absolute pinnacle of isolation. The monastic approach requires you to completely eliminate or drastically minimize all shallow logistical obligations. You drop off the grid entirely to maximize high-value output. The target profile. This is built for individuals whose professional survival depends entirely on creating massive singular masterpieces. like novelists, deep tech researchers, or theoretical physicists. The mechanism: think of an elite system architect who completely deactivates their email, mutes all corporate communication channels, and rents a secluded cabin in the mountains for 6 straight weeks with zero internet connectivity. Their sole focus is writing the core engine of a next-generation platform. It is an extreme, uncompromised lifestyle, but it is responsible for the greatest intellectual leaps in human history. 2. The bimodal philosophy. This framework recognizes that most people cannot simply disappear forever. It splits your life into 2 starkly defined, non-negotiable zones, one part completely monastic and the other part fully accessible. The target profile, ideal for modern professionals, managers, or university professors who have heavy collaborative duties but still need to produce breakthrough independent work. The mechanism. Consider a university researcher. From Monday to Thursday, their door is wide open. They lecture, they mentor students, they answer emails, they attend institutional meetings. But when Friday morning arrives, they undergo a total metamorphosis. They switch off their phone, lock their office door, set their email to an autoresponder, and spend 48 hours completely immersed in deep data analysis. They do not compromise the deep blocks for shallow requests. 3. The rhythmic philosophy. This is the most sustainable and highly effective framework for 95% of people watching this video. It completely removes the need for willpower by turning deep focus into an unshakable mechanical habit. The target profile: software developers, corporate professionals, creators, and students balancing heavy, predictable daily schedules. The mechanism: instead of waiting for a massive block of free time to miraculously appear, you carve out an identical, rigid window every single day. For example, you commit to working on your highest leverage skill from 5:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. every morning. No phones, no notifications, no exceptions. Because this happens at the exact same hour every single day. Your brain builds an automatic neurological trigger. It stops debating whether it wants to focus and simply slips into a flow state as a matter of pure reflex. 4. The journalistic philosophy. This is the advanced tier of mental discipline. It involves rapidly switching your mind from a highly chaotic environment into a deep focus state whenever an unexpected pocket of time opens up in your day. The target profile: high-level executives, media professionals, or individuals with highly unpredictable, reactive schedules. The mechanism: if an on-call journalist suddenly gets a 45-minute delay at an airport terminal, they don't open social media to pass the time. They instantly pull out their laptop, shut out the noise of the crowded terminal around them, and immediately plunge into deep, intense writing mode. Warning: do not attempt this as a beginner. If your focus muscle is weak, trying to rapidly switch back and forth will only induce severe mental fatigue and leave you trapped in shallow frustration. Anatomy of the trap. Deep versus shallow work. To protect your time, you must learn to ruthlessly identify and categorize every single task that crosses your desk. We must draw a hard line between deep work and shallow work. Metric deep work. Shallow work. Cognitive demand pushes your intellectual capabilities to their absolute limits. Requires minimal mental effort or structural thought. Distraction environment must be performed in a state of absolute, zero-interruption isolation. Easily performed while multitasking or heavily distracted. Value creation produces brand new, high-leverage value that scales your career, focuses on low-stakes logistics and administrative maintenance. Replicability incredibly difficult to copy, requires years of specialized expertise. Highly replicable, easily trained or automated within weeks. Let's be completely candid, shallow work is a comfort zone. Answering 50 emails makes you feel highly productive because your fingers are moving and your inbox counter is dropping. Cleaning up the formatting on a slide deck gives you an immediate sense of completion. But deep down, you know that anyone could have done it. It doesn't move the needle. The true danger of shallow work is that it acts as a massive time filler that masks your lack of real progress. It creates an addiction to the appearance of work while quietly destroying your capacity to think deeply. If you spend your entire day in shallow mode, your career will inevitably hit a ceiling. The knowledge economy doesn't reward compliance. It rewards elite, rare problem-solving. The elite training blueprint. If your brain has been deeply broken by years of digital distraction, you cannot simply tell yourself to focus harder and expect results. You have to train your mind like an elite athlete trains their body. Here is your 3-step operational blueprint. Step 1. Execute productive meditation. Don't waste your low-intensity moments, like walking the dog, running on a treadmill, or sitting on a train. Instead, give your mind a single, highly specific professional problem to solve. Every single time your brain tries to wander toward a random thought, a text message, or an anxious worry, actively catch it and drag it straight back to the problem. This is a heavy, targeted workout for your attention span. It forces your neural networks to build strength under pressure. Step 2. Implement a strict digital gatekeeper policy. Stop letting external apps dictate your mental state. Treat your attention as your most sacred asset. Adopt a craftsman approach to your tools. If an application does not directly contribute a massive, measurable benefit to your primary life or career goals, remove it completely. Turn off all non-essential push notifications permanently. If people need to reach you urgently, they can call. If it's an email, it can wait until your designated processing window. Step 3. Establish a sacred workspace ritual. Never sit down to work without a clear, repetitive ritual. Use environmental anchors to prime your brain for depth. Sit at a specific desk used only for high-value tasks. Put on a precise pair of noise-cancelling headphones. Turn on a specific desktop light. Set a physical countdown timer for 90 minutes. By repeating this exact sequence every single time, you create a powerful psychological trigger that instantly downshifts your nervous system out of a chaotic state and directly into a profound flow state. The strategic rest paradox. Now, let's dismantle the toxic lie of modern hustle culture. The idea that to be highly successful, you must work 14 hours a day, sleep 4 hours a night, and completely eliminate your personal life. This is not a blueprint for elite performance. It is a direct recipe for psychological burnout and cognitive decay. Science proves that the human brain has a strict, absolute daily cap on intense concentration, usually topping out at roughly 4 hours per day. Once you have fully expended that deep energy, any additional hours you spend at your desk are just shallow, low-quality filler. This brings us to the ultimate performance paradox. To maximize your elite output, you must fiercely protect your absolute downtime. When your deep work sessions are complete for the day, execute a hard shutdown ritual. Close your laptop, close your professional chats, and completely disconnect. Use your evenings to let your brain fully rest. Walk in nature, read a challenging physical book, or have deep, present conversations with family without a digital screen in sight. When you allow your mind to fully enter a state of boredom and rest, an amazing thing happens. Your subconscious quietly continues to process your most complex problems. A profound night of deep, uninterrupted sleep is the exact mechanism your brain uses to synthesize new information, clean out mental waste, and fully restore its creative edge so you can execute at an elite level again tomorrow morning. Conclusion and the challenge. At the end of the day, you are left with a definitive, uncompromised choice. Do you want to spend your life looking busy, or do you want to build something that actually leaves a legacy? Transitioning into a lifestyle of deep focus is not easy. Your mind will fight you. It will crave the easy dopamine of notifications, and it will resist the discomfort of deep thinking. But if you possess the raw discipline to push past that initial barrier, the rewards are absolute. You will watch your stress levels drop, your learning speed double, and the value of your output leave everyone else completely behind. If this breakdown brought a fresh layer of clarity to your goals, give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment below, letting me know which of the 4 deep work philosophies you are integrating into your routine starting tomorrow morning. And if you want to stay ahead of the curve, make sure you are subscribed to Volume and Vision. Share this with one person who is currently drowning in modern distractions. Thank you for watching. Stop scrolling, protect your focus, and go build something meaningful. We will see you in the next video.
वीडियोस बनाने हैं, फिल्मोरा है ना।